This podcast I am extremely excited about because it is with my mentor, Albert here. Thank you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. You've done so much. I'm going to start off with, I really never expected this to this even go this far. I really didn't. How many people do you give this opportunity to, and what has made you see this worth your time?
I think I give too many people opportunities because I like people and I really like helping people.
Okay.
Like I think my humbleness shows when I do these things. And sometimes like you, for example, I was telling you when you came, like you mentioned that you were out late night yesterday and you were recovering a little bit. And I said, the only reason why I'm not going to talk shit is because I see you making moves. I see you moving, maybe not necessarily winning. But I see you winning because based on the Instagram and all that stuff that you've been posting, staying active, to me, it looks like winning. But then you told me like, I'm not winning like I want to win. But I also know that you're a good guy. Like you mean no harm. You don't take shortcuts, and maybe you did in the past, but you're grinding and you're giving it your max effort, and maybe not your max effort because you kind of you distract yourself sometimes. But I see you like you're a good guy, and you're not quitting. You're going. So that's what I like. But when I see somebody that is a quitter, or is a fraud, or is a what's the other word? A quitter.
Just somebody who's a fake. I mean, because
somebody that's trying to take shortcuts. Like for example, somebody that gets fired, somebody that quits on the job, somebody and then they try to find easy ways to make money. So they go back to their parents' house and they're staying there. And they're trying to come up with this $1 million idea that's they're gonna create this thing on the internet, and it's gonna make him all of a sudden a millionaire. But you look at them and you hear them talk, and they're just like so like slow and they just don't have it. But then they're trying to look like, well, let me see if I could sue this person to make this quick bucks. Let me file this claim to make some money. And they're just always trying to look for that shortcut, and they never make it. They're lousy. But I see you taking risks, and you're a fighter. So it reminds me a lot about like how I started and how it wasn't easy. And now I see where we are today. So I'm like, dude, you're one of us. Like you're also Latino, you're a millennial. And if I can help you make your first million, your second million, your 10 million, then it excites me. Like I put that first before everything else.
So a lot of these things, like number one, what Albert was referring to is he was asking, or how I felt. And I had a little event yesterday, a dinner event for my ambassadors.
Yeah.
And little do you know, but so much of your influence does so much to me. Took these girls out to dinner, and we just talked over opportunities.
That's kind of dangerous too, like when you're going out to dinner with girls.
You take them out to dinner all the time, though.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
How's it dangerous?
Well, girls are a lot funner than guys, and then girls, I mean, it depends what kind of girl, but they start drinking champagne. And then the
champagne gets to you,
and they're like, "Hey, have another one. Hey, have another one."
Those are the little things that I've caught on from you that I start to do with my team, that has really helped us elevate, and then it brings this togetherness and this like everything of what we do. I want to ask you, this pandemic, what has it brought out in Albert? Because we've already kind of jumped on a little few subjects, like saying, there's people that quit. There's people that don't have it in them to really go after it,
Yeah.
And to Albert, I think there was a certain time, I would have to say, was there ever a certain time you did something you didn't want to do? Like when you were working for other companies, what were you doing before Albert got into the mortgage industry?
I was working as a teacher assistant.
Okay.
And I was grading paperwork like for kids, like basic math, basic spelling.
Mm-hmm.
And I would finish all of that super fast so that I could read my books, because I was reading self-improvement books, because I was dating a girl, and her brother drove an S-Class, a Hummer, and a nice Lexus SUV. and he had a nice Rolex, and he had a company, which happened to be a mortgage company. So I always asked this girl, hey, that's cool. Cause I grew up with
I never knew this
Mexico. My parents are from Mexico City, humble people, grew up in the ghetto. You're from Bakersfield, right? We grew up in LA.
Yeah.
But I was always in the bad areas, like El Centro, South Central, and I mean, it's pretty similar, just that Bakersfield is more.
The neighborhoods
more
are the same.
So I grew up with shootings, drug dealers, and all that stuff, and that's what I knew. So I grew up, and I used to watch all these. I used to watch Baywatch, and I used to see all the hot babes, and I was like, fuck, I want to get a white girl that's that hot with a tan and all that stuff. So I was like, I want to get those. And then I saw people, when they started drinking, the first time in college, they gave me a drink. When we went to a study abroad trip to Baja California. Okay. And the first thing we did when we crossed the border, let's stop for beers, because 18 and over, we could drink beer. So we get a beer, and that's the first time this is not a beer, this is Pellegrino, but I get a beer. And because all the girls in the trip, because we drove there in the van, and the girls were all, yeah, let's have beer. So I'm like, well, let me try it. And I try it. And it's like, man, it's sour. It doesn't taste good. I didn't like it. But I drank one, and then then it kicked in, and I kind of felt it, especially when you never drank before. Yeah. And then I drank a second one. I'm like, ooh, I'm feeling like super good. And then all of a sudden, the girl next to me looks hotter. Like her legs look more toned. The skirt looks a little bit higher. Her face looks a little bit better. And I'm like, damn, I'm like picturing her like
what am I going to do to her?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, how does she look like? How's she going to look like when they take that off?
Exactly.
So I'm already getting all those.
You're already building the tension and everything.
Exactly. And I'm feeling really good. And then we get over there, and then, I started drinking. So
by the time you get over there, I imagine the beer doesn't taste like anything.
No. And then so that was the first time I drank. But the reason why I said that was because I was going out with this girl, and then I saw this guy, and his name was Jaime. And then I always saw him with different girls, and I saw him like always like dressed nice, his nice watch, his nice cars, and then he had a house in the hills. So this girl, I was always telling her like, I want to meet your brother. Yeah. Like I want to be like that guy. Like this guy's like always parties, he's always having a good time, getting girls, like drinking with girls, going out to clubs, Villa Sorriso in Pasadena, Barcelona.
How long were you doing the teacher assistant part for?
Yeah.
How long was that?
I was doing it for, so the reason why I started talking about that was because this guy Jaime told me, I asked him, what do you recommend me to do? He said, read a book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Here, read it. And then come back to me and maybe you could get into the mortgage industry. Okay. And you could start making money like me. And I'm like, okay, cool. And at the time I was a teacher assistant. So I would finish grading all the papers fast, so that I could get my book and start reading it until the teacher asked me to do more work. So the teacher caught onto that because I was like grading the papers like so fast. I was probably not even grading them right. Okay. But I was just going so fast because I wanted to get back and keep reading the chapter off for Rich Dad Poor Dad. So that's when I read, basically like the book is telling you W-2, hourly pay. If you just focus on that, you're always going to be poor. But if you focus on sales, if you focus on scaling, on becoming a business person, then that's where the wealth is. Exactly. So then I started reading. I'm like, why am I getting paid hourly to play kickball with kids and grade paperwork? Even though I love kids, because kids are one of my passions. Like one of my passions is helping my Latino millennials in business, and I also love kids. Like I especially now with two little girls. I love, because I think kids, if they learn kids could learn marketing, business. They could learn how to train, self-improvement. They could learn systems when they're young. So I'm teaching my daughter, she's 3. I'm teaching her marketing, and I'm teaching her all those things, sales. I'm teaching her how to convince people, and they don't teach you that in school. So I love kids, by the way, but I just hated that job because I was stuck. And then when I read that book, it was telling me like, you're in the wrong place. And then finally the teacher catches on.
At this point in time, you already knew you were doing like the teacher assistant job you were doing for the certain time being while you didn't quit that job. Because what I'm trying to get to is the fact that you didn't quit your job and that you were still looking to grow. So at this point in time, you already knew in your head, I'm going to do this sucky ass job whatever it is, in a certain sense, not the fact that you didn't like playing kickball and playing with kids, but that you were going to do this for the time being, and then you were going to catch on into doing what you were doing with the mortgage industry.
It was temporary because I needed to make that money to be able to pay like little bills. So that's the only reason why I had that job. But the teacher one day tells me, she catches on and she tells me, why are you reading those garbage books?
Oh, shit.
So when she said that, she told me garbage. And I said, what do you mean? And she said, you're never going to get anywhere. These books are garbage. They're gimmicks. And if you want to be successful, you have to get your degree and become a teacher like me so that you could be successful. And I said, and she taught me that I never wanted to be a miserable old lady like her.
Exactly.
And the next day I didn't show up to work. I called them and I just told them like, hey, I'm not going to show up anymore. And I left that job and I just focused on real estate. I got into real estate full time. In my first month, I closed 4 deals, which paid me a $16,000 commission. My first month. And I was used to making $9 an hour.
And you were selling houses?
No, mortgages.
Oh, so you were closing loans?
Yeah, I've always been a mortgage guy.
Okay.
I tried real estate, and I have done some real estate in the past, but not a lot of it. I got into real estate. I just didn't like it. It's like you carry signs, you get all sweaty. It almost
all that.
Yeah, it seems to me like a labor job, and nothing wrong if you're watching this. You're a realtor. I know a lot of realtors that do good. You could make a lot of money, but I just chose, instead of carrying signs and waiting in open houses for things to happen, I decided to be in an office with AC and having a nice desk and making things happen and just calling the realtors and be like, hey guys, did you guys put your signs up? Do you guys have any loans for me? Thank you. And just taking the loans. And I figured that's a better industry to scale because you have more options. As a lender, you could refinance people, get paid $15,000, $20,000 a pop. You could do loans for people that are buying a house, realtor connections, and make another $15, $20 a pop.
Continue to reshuffle.
So I found out my formula on like how to target a business, and I found something that worked really well to make anywhere from $100,000 to $200,000 a month like this. And I was doing that like just from the start. I started, my first check was 16 grand my first month, and then from there on I just started learning more and more and more. And then the market crashed in 2008, and that's when I lost everything. I was 25 years old back then.
Okay. When did your wow moment come where you were like, oh, wow, I'm going to be successful. This is going to be a really big thing. Now, did you understand that before the market crash in 2008, or did you understand that after?
When I was 6 years old, I promised my dad that I was going to be super rich and that I was going to live in Beverly Hills and drive a Ferrari and help a lot of people and buy them a house.
And that was it?
That was it. Like I knew I was going to be successful, yeah.
But did you have this moment in mortgage? Like when you were doing mortgages, you knew that you were just going to pay?
I have this moment all the time. Like sometimes I've had a lot of businesses that didn't work out. So I'm so confident that I always think that everything's going to work out. Like just like when I used to go to the club, I saw that like I would always target like the 3 hottest girls that I would see. And I knew that I was going to get them. Like I knew, I knew I was going to, and even if I got a no the first time, I knew that I was going to either say that I was like Oscar de la Hoya or I was going to say that I'm like a millionaire. I was going to say that I was a narco or just make up like weird things and to get the girl's attention. So I was I've always been a good seller and a good closer because you got to do that. And I mean, you're good at that. So I became a good closer.
I've never tried. I'm a narco or I'm Oscar de la Hoya.
Well, I tried that in Acapulco because I used to go to Acapulco and party when I was younger. Yeah. So people there would, because I had a big house. It was my uncle's house, but I used to go party
you can use it at your...
and girls would come over and they would be like, "Whoa, eres narco," and I would be like, I would just kind of go like this, and the girls would get so excited and they would be like, "Yeah," they would take their clothes off and done. Yeah. But I figured it worked. So then now I had my system because I always create systems. I've been creating systems from the beginning. So I had my system. I'm going to go to El Alebrije. I'm going to go to Baby O in Acapulco. I don't know if you've been to Acapulco. And I have my system. I'm going to go there. I'm going to have a drink. I'm going to start buying the girls' drinks. And I'm going to let them ask me about where do you live? Oh, I have this house over there. Oh, over there. And then they're going to say, eres narco? And I'm going to be like, and then
Like
it's
what
done.
I-
So
Yeah,
that was my Acapulco system. But then I had my system like when I used to go out here. But regardless, the point is, I always knew and was so confident that I could close anything. So when I had an idea for a business, I knew it was gonna work. I knew I was gonna make it rain, make millions, and every single thing every idea, I always know it's gonna work. And sometimes it doesn't work, but that's why it's very important to believe in yourself and have those balls to take action, because most people just lack the balls, and then they become a quitter. And when you become a quitter one time, you're a lifetime quitter. Every time times get tough, you're always hoping for a bailout. Oh, let me get that stimulus check. Let me file unemployment. Let me sue this person that's successful because they have money and I deserve a little piece because he made me work an extra hour.
And you probably get this motivation so many days, right? I mean, you probably have ex-employees that you constantly see them do something new every now and then. Like, I'll catch some of my ex associates and I'll be like, oh, what's good? And then they're like, oh, I'm doing this now. I'm like, oh, good luck to you. I hope that works. Like, wait, but weren't you doing this last time? Last time, didn't you come with me with this idea? So does that motivate you to see that? And then in the sense, like, what does that, because to me, it's kind of like, it shows me, stick to what you're doing, stick to what works, and then go into other things.
Yeah, well, like you, like we spoke a lot about like your dreams, your mission, your vision, and your what you're going through is something that I went through. Like you're struggling, and what I mean by struggling is you're struggling in building your business to becoming the ultimate goal. Like to get to your destination right now, you're struggling because it's always a struggle. Yeah. But what I like about you, what I respect about you the most is that you're still doing that. Like you're working on it. And you tell me like, fuck, it's not working out yet. But you're still working on it, as opposed to those people that quit or get fired and then file unemployment, or then they try to sue for pennies. When they don't realize, like, dude, why are you wasting your time? Like, do you even know the whole process? They don't realize that somebody like a bigger, how would I say this? A powerful person, successful business person is going to have way more resources to just splash that little like roach.
Yeah, exactly.
And all these big people are gonna do just spray Raid Max on the roach and make it make it go like with its little legs like that.
It's upside down.
And let it get a little bit better, and then spray more Raid Max, and then just prolong it 5, 6, 7 years. And then they're gonna run out of money, and then they're gonna be like, oh no, we don't want to do this anymore, and just Raid Max.
Exactly.
And they just and then later on they're 30, they're 40, and they're still a little roach with Raid Max, and they're wondering like, why am I not successful yet? Getting unemployment when they're 40, like, come on, man, get something, like work on this, work a little bit longer, don't quit so easily. And that's why I say, like, the biggest mistake people make is they quit so easily, and then they become a lifetime quitter. So what I like about you is that you have a dream with your business that you have, and you've been growing like slowly but steady, but you believe in it so much that no matter the little roadblocks, you believe in it so much that you're never going to quit. And that's what I respect a lot from you. And those people that leave and quit, they don't motivate me at all. Like I my motivation is way bigger than that. My motivation is the people that I'm helping, the people that I'm touching, the people that are part of this enterprise that we're building. Like all the people, whether they're employees, independent contractors.
One of the biggest things is to me, the motivation is to be able to explain what those people, because I think anytime, everything that we're doing, I believe is for our next generation, like to set the bar higher.
Yeah.
It's to be able to show our kids what they can do, so like it's setting up the people that want to do what we're trying to do at your level, at my level where I'm beginning, and being like, hey, like I will show you, I will give you that information. There's no problem with me giving you that information. If anything, it makes me feel better. So to me, like when I see these guys quit and you're emphasizing this, to me, it's so important that people understand that, hey, if you say you're going to start something, just fucking do it until you just keep going. Like there's no point of stopping because you started it already. And that's how I find it motivating when you say these things, because I really catch on to that. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, to me, biggest thing with this whole pandemic, I said, how the hell are we going to get our sales? How? You know, so I was really intrigued to watch you and to see how you were going to pivot with this time frame. And as soon as I saw you pivot in a certain way, you know, you pivoted by leading by example, you know, showing your team from the front. This is what you got to do.
Yeah.
You know, you put yourself out there again. And to me, I really listened to that and honed in. Like for us, I was like, well, then I'm going to pivot online. And then I started seeing all these people do these giveaways online. Hey, when you shop with us, there's a giveaway, you know? So then we started to do that. And then I started to see people be like, oh, hey, I hope I win that giveaway. I just made my purchase.
You know what? So it's very psychological. So I'll give you an example. Phil Jackson. I know you're a Laker fan because you have a Laker shirt, right? Mm-hmm. That's a Laker shirt.
It's the Lakers t-shirt, yeah.
So Phil Jackson plays with people's minds. And I don't know. I'm sure you noticed.
Did you watch the documentary?
Oh, for Jordan, right?
Yes,
for sure.
Amazing.
But I'm sure you kind of see what I'm doing, but maybe you don't see it. You don't see exactly what I'm doing. But everything that I do it has an exact intention. So when you see me doing driven couples, when you see me doing things like that, I study my competitors, and I'm talking about Goliaths, and I see what they're doing. And every morning when I wake up before them, you know, when I wake up at 2 a.m. or at 3 a.m., I know they don't wake up till 5 or 6. And I'm thinking by myself with no interruptions. I'm just so focused on what am I going to do to disrupt them? What am I going to do to kill my competition? And it might sound a little bit like kind of mean or cruel, but I don't care. Like you know who motivates me? Ray Dalio, worth 18 billion. How he built that company to 18 billion and growing. His personal net worth is 18 billion. Google him, Ray Dalio. So I'm thinking about something.
He's got the book Principles,
yeah,
right?
something big like that. How am I gonna, in 5 years from now, 10 years from now, this is gonna be a huge enterprise. And I'm thinking about something like Amazon, where it's like something huge, where maybe we're the first $1 trillion company. So I'm so focused on that, and that's why I wake up sometimes a day in advance. Like I wake up at, like last time I made a mistake and I woke up at 11:46 p.m. So I woke up a day in advance, and I noticed because I had my Fitbit. It was when I was wearing the Fitbit, because I wear the Fitbit for a month, and I'm like, I'm not gonna. I kind of already got I measured enough because it looks kind of weird, and I have a watch and then a Fitbit, and so I caught it because I was washing my face, and then I look at the time and it says 12:22 a.m. 12:22 a.m. and I'm like, what the heck? So what time did I wake up? And I look at the Fitbit, 11:46 p.m. So I woke up a day in advance. And people think I'm crazy, but this is where I come up with these things like driven couples. When I come up with a driven boot camp and all these things, like I'm just, and I come up with a company CRM, custom, not Salesforce, not those CRMs I'm building my own CRM that I could call my guy and tell him, hey, tweak this, add this more category, add this. So it's not like I can't call Salesforce and tell him, hey, edit this piece.
It is terrible.
So
I personally shelled out quite a few $1,000s, you know, for a very basic system that I actually had a free one. So when I saw you say you went CRM, I was like, if he says he's splashing out, I imagine it's going to provide every detailed and bit of information that he needs to be able to completely, absolutely kill his, whatever he's trying to do, you know, whatever your market, your industry, whatever you're doing, you're setting that, you know? And as soon as I saw that, I really paid attention to that. And I was like, man, then you made me want to go look at my CRM, you know?
Dude, this CRM is going to track everything. It's going to save me so much time. This CRM is going to make us like a multi-billion-dollar company. I really dream of being like $1 trillion enterprise. Like I think that big. So when we're talking about these little roaches that we spray Raid Max on them, they don't motivate me for shit. They disgust me. I don't want to talk about them. Like I'm focused on this $1 trillion, multi-billion-dollar. I don't know how big it could get, but I'm excited by production. I'm excited by creating something that people are going to see this and they're going to be like, oh shit, Albert said fuck those little roaches and focus on a billion, focus on a trillion. Hey, maybe a million makes you happy. And that's totally fine.
But that's how far your mindset is. And just very simple. I mean, I think the more you think of that, the more you're going to stage every move that you do to get to a billion, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're not thinking a billion, then your moves are only the moves to get you to whatever million you already are, to whatever that is. I mean, that's as far, because that system will only work towards that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you're investing so much, because you want to take it to that level. And I see it. I don't doubt it whatsoever. Like, I see how excited you are about it.
Before you leave, check out our board, our production board. It is like bananas. It's like I don't even believe it. Like, every time I see, like, we created a system, even though our system has a lot of work to get done.
Mm-hmm. My system.
It's like every time I come, I mean, every time I wake up, I have like all these new wires. I have all these, when I get to the office, all these new checks. When I see the production board, all these new escrows. And then every day is like people are recruits and recruits in this industry. You got to think about it. Like, every recruit, every agent, when they close a deal, average commission is $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a pop.
Okay.
So it's a really great industry, and it's not going anywhere, because look outside. There's homes everywhere. Everybody needs a mortgage. Nobody buys cash everything.
Exactly.
Homes, people need somewhere to live. So it's like we have so many, like right now with the pandemic that we're talking about, I'm so thankful to the pandemic, like the coronavirus. Like, if they're watching this, like, thank you, like whoever created that, because it blew up my business. It crushed all my competitors. Why? Because my competitors, I'm talking about all the small shops. Like, we're a small shop. We're not like a Bank of America or Chase.
But it's simple for that mindset of that person. What did they do? I'll let you go into
all these little broker shops. They don't have social media. They probably, I mean, look at their social media. Like, I'll challenge anybody that's watching this. Look at your social media. If you're in real estate or mortgage technology, are you guys using Salesforce, or are you guys paying a mentor a lot of money for them to tell you, hey, you need a custom one that's different from your competitors, that they don't know what it is, and you have to create all these things that are gonna disrupt your industry.
The coronavirus just brought out the hustler even more in you.
Yeah.
It just made you go fucking berserk.
It brought the best. It brought the best out of me. Yeah.
Because you saw an opportunity. To, this is where I'm going to separate myself from everybody else.
And what people have to understand is that I did get scared and worried, and I didn't know what I was going to do for one day. Mm-hmm. But it just lasted one day. I flipped.
I heard you say that.
And I had a powerful conversation with Bobby Castro, mm-hmm. and I recovered in one day. Mm-hmm. But most people are still in that mode. Yeah.
We're human.
We're all human.
And that's normal to feel that. I mean, to me, I saw a post of this. It's very simple. A person saying that all they've been doing for the last 2 months is them on a couch eating Doritos or hot Cheetos. And I just looked at that and I was just like, to me, it was just embarrassing to see that a person could have that mindset, to understand that, well, I'm just going to chill back, you know? And to me, it was so important to just, I feel it's exciting to see your enthusiasm and my enthusiasm throughout this time, and be like, no, there's new ways, unpaved roads that we've seen that we can do even more out of.
Yeah.
So with that, what has the pandemic, and I'll tell you, you talked about the marriage couple and you're doing that. What has the pandemic brought out between your relationship? Have you been spending more time at home? How has that changed the dynamic?
I've been spending more time with the kids.
Okay.
And one of the things that I don't like, though, is I haven't been able to go to Equinox.
Okay.
You know, because I like working out at Equinox, because I mean,
I'm
married and you know, I'm like the most loyal, ethical guy, but I like to see, you know, hot babes working out, and I like to see guys.
What is it? The 5-second rule?
I mean, in Puerto Rico, it's but between me and you, like she does care. Like yeah. She doesn't even give me a second. Like I have to. It's like half a second rule. But she's
half a second to look, and then
she just says that. But it's not true. So I kind of like. I mean, I see beauty and it's beauty, but I'm respectful. I'm not like a, you know, like a slob. Yeah. And then I also like to see guys that are fit, because it makes me feel like I'm not fit.
By the way, your arm looks bigger. It really does.
Well, maybe because I've been working out just upper body.
Oh shit!
Because I'm stuck with my free weights. But
Yeah.
but yeah, like I've been doing stairs for legs. But yeah, I miss the gym. I just miss being around people.
Okay.
I miss being around people and
Seeing it normally flow.
Yeah, because right now I just have the free weights, and I'm working out in my unit because I can't even go to the gym in my building because it's closed. And if you work out in the and then now they opened it up a bit, but you have to wear a mask to work out. Like, how am I gonna sprint with a mask? I'm gonna suffocate.
Yeah,
and I'm really gonna have the coronavirus. so like and then the kids, you know, my girls. Especially Italia, she's really attached to me. So I'm there like on the floor doing like some bench.
And then she comes over.
And then and I have like heavy weights, and she's like jumps on my stomach, and I'm like so it's been a challenge. But like I said, I'm not a quitter, and I'm not gonna make excuses for being miserable.
Yeah, no, and I can see it. I think to me, it's quite simple when we said this in the beginning, you know, when you see somebody from afar, there's this ego, but that ego is just because, I mean, in a certain sense, it's just their confidence. That's your confidence brewing. So once I was able to really just like kind of peel behind who Albert was and just kind of see what you would do every day. And I think I only watched you maybe for about 2 days.
Yeah.
Maybe even a day. I've never really thought about it, but I was like, hey, there's something to this guy. You know, like there's really something to this guy. Like I just like whatever, and he makes me want to be better. And it was as simple as that. So when you make me want to be better, I rub off of that 100%, because I think at the end of the day, it's that enthusiasm in life to be able to go out there and just crush it and whatever it is you do. And then to see your discipline with everything else that you do.
Yeah.
To me, it just ties those things together.
Yeah, I'm crazy. If you want to describe me, I'm a crazy guy. And one of the things that I want to leave you with too before I forget is most people like the roaches that we're talking about, they're like at negative levels. So I talk a lot about levels. Mm-hmm. So like let's say Robert is at level 4 and Kim is at level 10, and then we have billionaire Bob that's level 17.
Okay.
So stop comparing yourself with level 17. When you're the roach, try to get rid of the shortcuts and try to like work and get to level 1, and then try to get then focus on level 2. Most people try to get to level 17 with a home run, and that usually doesn't happen. Mm-hmm. So you gotta just know where you are, start where you're at, and improve to the next level, to the next level, to the next level, and then you'll get there.
Okay. This level thing. And how often do you go ahead?
And to add to that, because I got a blank. Most people all people that get to that high level, they don't have one day. Like their day is not just one day. They make more days out of one. Mm-hmm. So for me, I have 3 parts to my day. Okay. So I have 3 days in one day. Mm-hmm. And another thing is every minute I value it. If I don't like a person, I don't want to spend a minute with them.
I love when you said that. I heard you say that once.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was on what, but I remember you saying like, when there's nothing there to gain, when there's nothing to talk about, I leave. Like, yeah. I'm not gonna waste my damn time just sitting there and just talking about nothing when nothing's going anywhere.
And I'm pretty bad at that because it's just you'll notice it in me. Like my face is just like way like done.
You're just checked out.
Yeah, I'll be rude, but I can't handle it. I can't control it. It's just I'm not good at faking that. Mm-hmm. And it's just like when I've had some guys here in the company that they just quit and they suck and they keep asking me the same question second time and third time. After the third time, I'm like, I don't make eye contact with him and I don't see you. Like I just go around you and I want to get you out. You're not listening. Like you are not focused. Could it be that you do a lot of drugs or you don't sleep well or you're like hungover? I don't know, but you're not committed. Mm-hmm. So like when people ask me for the third time, like I'm done. And that's why it's all numbers, like capitalism. In our company, I spend time with the top performers. I don't spend time with the low performers. And people could be like, oh, that's cruel. That's what's gotten us to where we are today. I give everybody a fair shot. But if they stay low, I can't spend time with them. I have to spend time with the people that are earning it as a leader, as a CEO. So that's another thing. But remember, like most people, they don't do anything in a day. You have to take, like I have 3 parts to my day. From the moment I wake up, 2, 3 a.m., 4 a.m., latest 5 a.m., like when I really need to catch up a little bit on sleep, but never later than 5. So anywhere from that time all the way till noon, till 11 or noon, that's my first part of the day. And then from like 11 noon till like 5 p.m., it's like my second part. And then from 5 to like I go to sleep is my third part of the day, which I go home, I have dinner with my wife, I spend time with the girls, and then I get on the live. Like, do you think I am excited to get on the live? I am, because I want to give value to people and I want to help people, but I have to stay relevant. I have to, I have to do it, even if I've been up for 18 hours. That's my third part of the day. If I would just clock out at 5, I wouldn't be here. I would be in the little shop in the ghetto. Like, that's just the truth.
And to me, we got to finish this off, guys. But one of the biggest things is, I think it's a simple fact of like, not everybody's going to be willing to put in that work.
Yeah.
Not everybody's going to be willing to. It's the fact that you don't care what anybody else is thinking, that you're going to finish your day when you know you finished and you completed what Albert wanted to complete, right? So, guys, we got to cut it short. Albert, I appreciate you. Guys, stay tuned, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.